May profits be upon you. I'm taking a look at the NASDAQ, but I'm looking through the lens of the NASDAQ futures. All right. Uh, the futures are a little bit more precise than looking at it on the like the FX charts. The CFDs, they, they're subject to the manipulation by brokers. They're subject to manipulation by brokers, and with the futures, you don't get that. These they're registered with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and they got to be up and up, and there's no subjectivity when it comes to liquidity managers and whatnot. They just got to do things by the book anyway. So taking a look at NQ, we're going to start with the monthly. What I want you to notice is this rate of the market, this impulse, this retracement, and then the new impulse. Right? What what is price doing? Price is seeking liquidity. That's what moves the markets. All right. So uh, when you see the more subtle swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, right? When you see that, you know that they are generating liquidity points. Let me get rid of this. They're generating liquidity points here, and prices. Obviously, it's bullish order flow, and it's going up. It's going higher. All right, but this is an external target, and when price pulls back, it's pulling back to an internal target. And what do I mean by internal, external? Just think of it as legs. The bullish leg, all right, inside of this dealing range are PD arrays like bullish order blocks or fair value gaps. And when price reaches an external target like a high, right? That's an external target. It's going to seek an internal target behind that. After it reaches an internal target like a PD array, like a fair value gap or a order block, it'll seek the external target again, and then seek the internal target, then seek the external target. That's the way price works. That's what that up and down motion is. And to see it a little more um, uh, clearly, clearly illustrated here, you just say, we establish an external target. We come down to a fair value gap for an internal target, and then it seeks the external target once again. All right. And makes a new high, a higher high. All right. And what is it doing now? It's going back into the leg here for an internal target, like a PD array, a order block or a fair value gap. And then what are we doing now? We are seeking that external target. All right. I hope that helps. All right. Because it's playing out right here. Where are we now? This is the draw on liquidity. This is the draw on liquidity, and it is a previous high. All right, happens to be an all-time high. All right here at 17,700. Right, and we've already reached an internal target. All right, this PD array here. All right, this is in the discount of this trading range. What do I mean by discount? We go from top to bottom, right? Divide it into half, all right? And the upper 50% is the premium prices, and the lower 50% is the discount prices. This is where you want to take your shorts from premium, and this is where you want to take your longs from um, discount. You understand? All right. That's the way uh, the market moves, and on every time frame. So, price is fractal. What happens in the higher time frames will happen in the lower time frames. That's the way it works. Okay, so what do we have here? I think price is still reaching for this drawing liquidity. All right, we just created a high, came back into this is on the monthly time frame. We came back into a monthly fair value gap here. Let me get that going. All right, a fair value gap here. Bounced off of it, found that rejection from there. All right, found the support actually, and took out that previous high for liquidity. And here we are. This is the external move. All right. Could price pull back in here before it reaches it? Most certainly could. But what's waiting for it? Another bullish PD array. All right. Here is another monthly um, uh, fair value gap. Price could definitely come on down here and then make the move up. Yeah. All right. Price is already uh, reached back in here and had a pretty nice rejection here. So we're gonna keep an eye on this situation. It doesn't need to come back down here. It could just continue on higher from this point. But on a monthly basis, we can obviously see that price is bullish. All right, we have bullish order flow. All right, and I have no reason to think otherwise. We have a break of structure to the upside, so everything's bullish here. Am I interested in taking shorts? We'll get into that. Get into that as we get to the lower time frames because I am a day trading uh, trader. All right, on a swing trade basis. All right, I'm not interested in taking any shorts down to here. I'm not. All right, it could go down here, but the better and higher probability trade is waiting until price pulls back into a bullish PD array, and then I'll take the trade, the buy and ride it up. Let's go to the weekly, shall we? On the weekly, we can see that same uh, uh, bullish order flow. All right, we see how price pulled back. It was not a very nice pullback, right? Boom, 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 and then shot back up, breaking that market structure there. I want you to notice here too. This is a bearish fair value gap on the weekly. All right, a weekly bearish fair value gap. What did price do when it met that bearish fair value gap? We got this bearish candle here. All right, it rejected. All right, what did it do? It took external. Uh, um, it took that external target. All right, let me get rid of that. All right, it took that external target. All right, price pulled back to a internal target. All right, and now we see price almost correcting the exact same move, right? When I say almost, it's relatively speaking. What happens is, let's take a closer look at this. All right, price did take that high out. It did come in and take the previous weekly high. All right, but where I draw some caution is that it failed to close below above that high. So that usually when I see that if price takes out the high but fails to close above that high, then the next candle, the next weekly candle will likely, there's a higher probability that it'll likely be a bearish candle. Okay, if price had taken the high out and closed above it, then I would think that the next week will be bullish. All right, but we could be because that's not the case, we could be pulling back into this fair value gap, and we'll get into that on the very next time frame. But I do want you to see how price is playing here. All right, the bullish PD arrays like this one I just deleted. Let me bring it back. This one I just deleted. This is a monthly. All right, it came down, found support, and bounced up, and almost corrected this whole thing. Well, actually, it did correct. It did take out that high, but it didn't close above it. So I'm watching this. I'm watching this closely, but we see the rejection from this weekly um, uh, bearish fair value gap. All right. Will it hold price? Will it hold price? Because price is being supported by bullish PD arrays, bullish fair value gaps. Uh, I, we're going to see, but my bet is that price will eventually overtake this, as it is 17,700 is the 17,700 is the drawn liquidity, and I believe price is going to reach that, and I believe that means that it'll take out this weekly uh, bearish fair value gap. Let's go to the daily. All right, and this is where things get very interesting. Uh, let me do something here. Hold on a second. Let's get this right. All right. Okay. Now, I want you to see this very clearly. All right. You see this here? All right. This formed a a bearish a bearish breaker. All right, breaker block. All right. We see a high being made, push back, a high, push back, a higher high. All right. Once that higher high is made, and then a low is made lower than that, a lower low, that creates a breaker block. And you expect when price comes back up here, that it will reject, and we can take a very high probability uh, sell there. But that's not what happened. Price continued to trade back through that bearish breaker block. And now we see opens and closes above the fair value gap that was created here. This is a bearish fair value gap. All right. This bearish fair value gap was inside of this breaker. Okay. That's a kind of a unicorn setup. All right. Where you have overlapping PD arrays that give confluence, strong confluence that things are going to hit more bearish. But price is closed, has opened and closed above that fair value gap. This is a very strong indication that uh, uh, prices may turn this fair value gap into an inverted fair value gap, an inversion, right? And what usually happens with that is we see. Sorry. What usually happens with that is, all right, when you have those in there, say this is the fair value gap here, right? When price uh, or, pierces it and closes above it, well, this usually ends up doing this. It finds it as support here and continues higher. So that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking to see if this will hold here in this inverted uh, uh, fair value gap, and maybe fish back down here, maybe take that low, but finding the support necessary to take this high and break the high of the weekly fair value gap that price is already in right now. That is currently in right now, and see if it continues to respect it or it breaks through. All right. Again, this is this uh, this bullish activity going through this price action going through this bearish fair value gap is very it got my eyes up. So I'm thinking that this bearish fair value gap, the weekly, is not long for this world, and that we will find support with this inverted fair value gap, and uh, price will continue higher. If we take a look at it on the 4 hours, uh, you can see something, see indications on the daily, the day trading, daily time, the lower time frames. All right, you can see this big rejection here when price came back down in here, and you can see where the opens and closes are right around here. Yeah, prices got some accumulating qualities up here. All right, with prices consolidating around here. All right, because we're not getting a close below the consummate encroachment, the middle, the 50% of this fair value gap, right? This is a bullish indication in my book. Okay, so I'm looking to see if price continues to dance here, and then finally takes that high, which is now the most immediate draw on liquidity. Let me draw a line here. Uh, Shoot. All right. Put that in red. Okay. Um, I want to see this thing. I want to see this thing hit. That would make sense to me. All right. I want to see it hit. I want to see a good entry on the lower time frames, where price will give us a good indication that it's going to seek some lower liquidity, some sell side liquidity, maybe below this low, uh, and then possibly get up. I want to catch that. That's what I want to catch. I want to catch it when it dips down, breaks this high. Before it breaks this high, when it comes back down for the retracement, I want to catch that and continue higher. That's what I'd like to do. So there is a fair value gap down here. Price has already dipped here in this fair value gap, as you can see, and it still held price. It still pushed price higher. All right, price came back down here, and it's holding here. So it's the bullish PD arrays are doing their job. So I have no reason to think that price is bearish. I'm not looking for sells. I'm looking for buys, and I'm hoping that this top-down analysis helps. And if you did find it beneficial, if you have any questions or you have a different view, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Okay. Uh, I'm sorry, I got a little talkative here, but I'm hoping to educate as well as give you a good outlook on the markets coming up this week. All right, thank you for your time. May profits be upon you all, and do hit the like button if you like if you picking up what I'm putting down, man. If you're digging what I'm getting at, hey, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Thank you again.